Pa's Café in Dania.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon and happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I am exuding fake enthusiasm because today is going to be a historic occasion on the Lunchbox. For once, Jim Svengali Sarni has worked his magic not on me, Mike Mayo, but on this guy below me, Mike Lubie Lubitz. Tell him what you're going to do today, Lubie.
I am going to be the slob because it's a really messy sandwich.
Well, how'd you make that? Did a hyena make that? What is that? You folding it over?
Yeah, fold over. I did.
This is a PB&J, right?
Two half sandwiches. So it's disgusting. It's going to be a total disaster. But Mayo does it. I guess I can.
National Peanut Butter Day, which
okay,
he's got two different types of jelly there, Defo. He says there's a great debate. If it was me constructing these sandwiches, you know, I'm a complete slob and savage when it comes to eating the food. But when I assemble the food, I like to have two pieces of bread, spread the peanut butter on one half, and then do like a half side of the grape jelly, a half side of the strawberry jelly, put them down, fold them, and then cut them very neatly with a knife. He's got these folded over things like a pizza slice. They're like folded over pizza slices, and that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I think he's far more practical than you are with your half slice, because we know that you never apply a knife to any sandwich and cutting it up because you're going to eat
fingers.
The whole thing.
You could use your fingers, and you know.
The debate about grape jelly versus strawberry with peanut butter, I think, is moot because I don't care what kind of jelly you have in the fridge, and usually. I mean, what is the statute of limitations on jelly? It's not even an expiration date because you'll have a jar of jelly and it has like a little bit crusted on the bottom there, and it's been in the refrigerator for like 7 years. And then, you know, you decide one day you're in one of these, moods where you're going, I'm going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or spread it on some bread. And the jelly is always of a suspect nature, but whatever flavor it is, it's fine with me because it goes with.
And if you see that little bit of mold forming, that would make Marie or whatever
green mold, but you're just ignoring that. You cut that part out like it was cancer, you know. Just
Madame Curie, right? Yeah. Madame Curie was the one who invented penicillin and mold. Like you just scrape that off, and then you just keep going because it's it's jelly. It's basically
it's Louis Pasteur time in my refrigerator when it comes to jelly. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, it's funny because of all the things and foodstuffs that you could spread on sandwiches and that were the staple of many childhood lunches at lunchrooms and in lunch boxes, I hated peanut butter. I probably consumed less than 4 or 5 of them in my entire childhood.
That's it? Wow, unbelievable.
I was a cream cheese.
That contributes to the bitterness that you sometimes exhibit and the lack of cohesion like you had on the show yesterday.
Lubie's going right in. He's starting with, now what kind of, I'm going to have to ask you some questions because it is, according to the Ministry of Silly Food Holidays, National Peanut Butter Day. What kind of peanut butter did you use, and is your mouth sticking together now? Can you answer?
I can't answer. First of all, see, when I make an actual sandwich, I put peanut butter on both sides. That's how much peanut butter I like. I put peanut butter on both sides and then put jelly on top of one of the sides. I don't know the combo jelly. Only you would do two kinds. I mean, that's weird.
Well, you made 2 different sandwiches with 2 different kinds of jelly.
For discussion purposes, because my dad is really weird. It's like Defo with the mustard, no ketchup. Like when it comes to PB&J made that, my dad's always like, it can only be grape. Any other kind is not a PB&J. Whatever.
That's kind of true. I'm on that camp. I think grape jelly belongs with the peanut butter if you're inclined to do these things.
So
how about the jelly that comes with the peanut butter? Remember when that came out? What was that called? Goobers or something? I don't know.
Yeah, you just opened the packet. It just came out.
And the jelly was already mixed in, kind of like in Night Moves with Michael Keaton when he said put the mayonnaise in the tuna can, and we're onto something innovative. But that was a weird thing when they put the jelly in with the. I didn't care for that. I want to put my own jelly in my own proportions.
So first of all, what peanut butter? What brand? And is it crunchy or smooth? I'm sorry.
I've never cared about the brand thing, and now I actually go to Aldi because peanut butter got ridiculous.
Right.
Aldi's like a quarter the price.
So this is a generic Aldi brand.
Yeah, generic Aldi's very similar. I like Skippy and Jif. I don't know about the other kinds. It got weird.
I bet Defoe's a Skippy guy because that's what he
has
named
to be
his
Skippy.
dog.
Yeah. He's gonna do
named
Skippy
after my dog.
Look him in the face again.
So, and Skippy likes Skippy peanut butter, and will not eat Deep South or any of these other brands.
All dogs like peanut butter, I guess, but the brand is different.
Now,
and smooth or crunchy? Smoothie or crunchy?
Yeah, I like crunchy. I growing up it was smooth. And as I got older, I want something to it. It's like my orange juice. I don't need a ton of pulp, but I want some pulp.
So you're like me. You're a texture guy. You don't want anything that's just too smooth. You want something that has a little bit of crunch and substance and breaks it up a little bit. All right, I'm proud of you because that shows a more sophisticated palate, even though you are eating a first grade
sophisticated palate. Yeah, I mean he's cutting the crust off a piece of Wonder Bread and eating a peanut butter sandwich.
No, and I got to go full details here. So, what kind of jelly? Is it Smucker's? Is it?
Cheapy. Shirley made me get her expensive strawberry preserves.
Preserves. That's the best. You got to get a preserve.
Oh, I didn't even know the difference. I don't know. I never understood the difference. And then the grape is something I bought that was for sure generic because I can't. Again, I'm not as sophisticated as you give me credit. I don't know the difference between different Smuckers or whatever. This one was $6 for the jelly. Mine's like $1.25, and I can't tell the difference. Like I'm not gonna.
You need Welch's. I mean, isn't it? Welch's grape is the only thing that goes with peanut butter. And then never use diet jelly. Any like sugarless jelly, whatever. Forget about that.
Well, my dad was diabetic. Rest in peace. And he always did the no sugar added preserves, and I guess that's a little bit better than some of the processed
no, that's not
Smuckers and
the texture isn't even right. It comes out in lumps. It's scary.
He likes lumps. If he's having crunchy peanut butter, he's a lumpy guy. What kind of bread is this? Just standard white bread or the
whole wheat on wheat? I don't really do. I'm not
peanut butter on whole wheat. That's a shanda. That's like that doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? I get the Chick-fil-A sandwich and have them put it on the multigrain bread. Oh. And Shirley's grossed out by that. It's like, why would you not eat the heavy buttered white?
Yeah, you need the buttered white bun. You need to go.
No. Peanut butter also on a toasted English muffin is fantastic, especially cinnamon raisin. That would be the way to go. If you were going to get a little exotic there, Mr. Food.
Here's the only way I would consider eating peanut butter would be on a sourdough bread with sliced banana and bacon, and I guess that would be Elvis style.
What is the bacon?
I know. What do you break out and love me tender after you have a bite of it? I mean,
no, you end up dying on the toilet bowl. But
melted peanut butter though on toast, that's a delicacy, my friend. I mean, that is the caviar of peanut butter, at least in terms of means of eating peanut butter. That is the best of the best.
So now, what do you think of peanut butter with like fluff and marshmallow stuff?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I over the years tried peanut butter and banana, and actually is pretty good. And you put a little honey, like when you're working out, that actually is like good for you. But I don't know about I don't understand the marshmallow. Where does that come? Like, I don't get that. Like where that.
Neither do I. I don't like peanut butter to begin with, but I guess somebody had the idea to put it together, and they said, "Oh, we're sick of this like fruit stuff, like jelly. It seems too healthy. Let's go full bore with just complete sugar and processed thing, and let's get the fluff on there." So,
how about peanut butter and chocolate there, Mike Mayo? What do you think about Reese's peanut butter cups? One of the great candies ever made.
It's fire.
The only thing wrong with Reese's peanut butter cups was they were smaller in size than a lot of other chocolate bars. And when you were a kid and you were spending like your only nickel on a chocolate bar, you had to debate whether you wanted to go and get the Reese's and maybe diminish the amount of chocolate that you were consuming.
No, and it's weird because I don't particularly like peanut butter, but I do love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Who
so
doesn't?
It just goes to show when you mix chocolate with anything, it basically tastes okay. What I don't like is now they make these like Reese's peanut butter M&Ms, like they stuff the M&Ms with the kind of like peanut buttery chocolatey thing. I'm not thrilled with that.
Peanut way better.
Yeah, just give me a straight up peanut M&M. That's pure goodness, and it has a little protein, so it's almost healthy.
Get out of here! You're eating peanut M&Ms for protein.
At poker tournaments,
you really do like to stretch the value of nutritional.
Let me tell you, Defo, when it's getting late in a poker tournament and it's midnight and like,
but you're not eating it for protein. I mean, you're eating because you're eating garbage. I mean,
I eat a little sugar, but at least with the peanuts and the M&Ms, as opposed to the straight chocolate M&Ms, you get a little bit of the protein. So at least I feel
nurses will come over.
It's my rationalization. Let me feel good about it.
You can't possibly feel good about that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I do if I end up winning the tournament, and then
that's a whole.
credit
different ballgame. Yeah.
M&Ms, the peanut M&Ms.
The peanut M&Ms would be
Can I see
unadvisable under any
Lubie?
circumstance.
I want Lubie to go full bore. I want you to smush some
I don't know how
jelly
to do a
around
Mayo
your
bite.
face.
Like, how do you do the thing? Like,
Open
this
your
right
mouth
here?
wide and
You would
say,
eat the whole
ah.
thing. Like, you would eat this whole thing, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I
Oh,
couldn't
one
do it.
bite. Everybody knows the rules. Oh, man. There you go. Yeah, that was good. That was a good Mayo-esque bite. I want you to now start talking and recite the alphabet backwards, please.
I don't think I do that sober, but
Z, Y,
that's the funniest thing.
W.
Like, have you trained yourself for that bite? Because Andy noticed it early. I'll give him credit. And I posted a TikTok, and you should follow our TikTok because it's really just all Mayo eating. And it is pretty impressive. We have a bunch that are like 5,000, 1,500 views just because people like watching Mayo eating.
I got to see that. I got to get on TikTok and give the Chinese all my information.
So fly live.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to have my daughter because she's all over the TikTok and she'll get onto that. Hey, so speaking of my daughter, all right, I got to regale the audience here. She did a hilarious bit yesterday for me. I'm feeling a little bit guilty about, my behavior or just the whole episode at Evelyn's. The restaurant that I took Michelle, who happy birthday today is the day she turns a big number. She's in the island of St. Lucia, so she's not seeing this, although she got internet there, but she doesn't watch us anyway. But happy big Hawaii 5-0 to Michelle, and she's not keeping it a secret. She owns her age. And but we went for the big lavish dinner at Evelyn's at the Four Seasons Hotel on Fort Lauderdale, and I guess I did the move where I've been in there before. I know the chef through my past work, and he was up at another restaurant in Palm Beach, and which I had given 4 stars. And so I reached out to him via messenger on Sunday morning at 9:05. We were going in on Sunday night. And I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to say, hey, Brandon, here is my message. I said, hey, Brandon, this is Chef Brandon Solomon. Hope all is well. Not sure if you work on Sundays, but coming in tonight with daughter and her mom, who's celebrating her 50th this week. They haven't been to Evelyn's yet, but I've been touting it as my new favorite. Hope to see you. Thanks. With my little
that smacks of asking for a freebie.
Oh my God, you didn't tell us.
Well, why don't you just wear a sign? I'm Mike Mayo. I've done you a favor, and it's a special occasion.
I tell everyone I know.
It's my wife's birthday.
And okay, so now I'm feeling a little bit bad because Natalia, when she saw, when she saw what happened with, this full cake that was like an incredible chocolate creme,
which they naturally would have brought on anyway, having no idea it was your wife's birthday.
Right. So
yeah,
and also the prosecco, the bubbly to start, and then some of the appetizers. Look, they took great care of us. It's a special occasion, and they rose to the occasion with these special touches.
But you were looking for a comp. You were looking for a comp that's straight up.
Just notifying them.
See, be honest.
But my daughter,
people appreciate and respect honesty. If you just said I was looking for a comp, that's the only reason I texted this guy. Otherwise, I would have gone in there and seen if he was around.
See, the notifying would be, hey, Brandon, I didn't want, just
9 a.m. For a 6:30.
9 a.m. on the day of. Okay, so here's what my daughter conjured up. What happened is that all of a sudden, Brandon's like, summon the troops, get on the phone. And
that's what happened.
Quick, I need the baker. You got to go in. Mayo's coming in. You got to bake a cake right now. But it's Sunday.
You threw them off their game completely. I bet they couldn't accommodate any other tables that night.
This is my daughter's spiel last night to me, and she had me on the floor. She goes, get the baker in here now. And the baker's on the phone. But it's Sunday. It's my day off. I don't care. Mayo's coming in. You got to get in here now. You got to bake a cake.
That's what happened.
100%.
And you knew this. I mean, come on, Michael. You know what comes along with the territory here.
I didn't know what lengths they would go to. But
why would you contact? Like if I was going to the Café Seville, when I call Joey at 9 a.m, if I'm coming in there at 7 o'clock at night, and go, oh, and by the way, it happens to be my wife's birthday, and guess what? Our first date of any real significance was at your restaurant, and we would like the same table. Come on, you know what you're doing. You're begging for a freebie. You're hoping the guy will comp your check. That's what happened.
No, that I wasn't looking for any kind of any sort of thing. I just
The
wanted to
fans
make
here at
sure
Let's Eat
that
South Florida are not that foolish to believe that you just innocently happen to text a guy that morning to say, "Oh, if you happen to be around, it's my wife's birthday and we're coming in tonight."
I'd love to. I wanted to see him, and look, he said, "I'll make sure we take great care of you,"
There
and they
you go.
did.
That's all
And
you needed.
look, for the special people in my life, and even though we're no longer married, I still consider Michelle a special person. And people say, "Well, why don't you just get remarried?" And I say,
She
"Why
she
ruin a
considers you
perfect
special
divorce?"
too, from what we can gather.
All right.
She actually sang high praises. She was very impressed with the meal, and they
Hey,
both
hey,
were.
man.
My daughter said it
Where is
was
she
one of her
today? She's as
favorite
far away
dinners.
from you as she can get.
St.
Your
Lucia,
birthday, yeah.
yes. It's hard, but all right.
Are
So
you
I
getting
felt a
back
little
together? I
guilty.
secretly believe that you
Oh,
harbor
Diva talked
visions
about
of getting
this
back
morning.
together, whereas she
I
has
just said
no concept of doing that.
no. I told you. Anytime people bring this up, I say, why ruin a perfect divorce? We're very happily
Which is
divorced,
well
so
stated.
that's where
All
we're
right.
at. So but we get along. We're raising our
A
daughter,
lot of special dinners together,
and
though. You know what? I don't recall any of my exes inviting me over and then
Well,
cooking
now
like
your
7-course meals
relationships.
for me and stuff like that.
we stay in our lane. She's a great chef. We both love food and good wine. So we can still, like, when it comes to that, cohabitate in the food and wine space. What are you looking at? Are you looking at the first rate parks? I
No,
keep
I'm
seeing you.
watching this
you-
thing here, but
Australia.
my TV keeps going to some weird mode. That's so I'm trying to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you trying to find a race from
No, I'm not
Parks
watching
Racetrack?
racing. I was watching this Jessica Pagula. She lost to. I
She
like this
lost.
player.
Spoiler alert. She
She
lost.
lost. She's playing Victoria Azarenka. This match took place yesterday, so I know the result.
Yeah.
And I'm a
So you
big
just want to
Azarenka
see.
fan, and I kind of like Pagula's progress because I dig the fact that she's the daughter of a zillionaire, and
Yeah,
still
Buffalo Sabres owner.
decides to go out there and work hard to be a top athlete because this is not an easy sport to compete in, and she's done very well. And she got
You know
herself
the
into
South
better shape, and she's playing good tennis. But she got annihilated by this Victoria Azarenka, who's I'm a big fan of her play, by the way.
Right. So you know that Pergola, that the South Florida angles involving
I
her.
guess
I
she
guess
lives
she
in
lives
Boca.
and trains.
Sarni was saying, and Azarenka and her are friends apparently, according to Jim Sarni. And Azarenka also lives in Boca Raton, even though I forget what country she's originally from.
Well, everybody lives in Florida because they're all dodging the income taxes in different
State tax,
states
yeah, but
and
Monte
countries.
Carlo would be the place for that, wouldn't it? I mean, isn't that like
Yeah, it
0.0?
It depends. It's a little bit more crowded and expensive there, but actually, it's getting crowded here. No, but the other thing, there's also a South Florida restaurant link with the
Pagulas have a restaurant
uh,
here,
Eagles. Well, they're the owners of the Buffalo
and
Sabres.
the
They
Bills.
also
Yeah.
own, I believe, they are the owners of the Conrad Resort Hotel that opened up on Fort Lauderdale
Oh,
Beach. They might have a partial stake in it, and I know that they also owned and operated the restaurant that was up front called Terra Mare that first opened there and then it closed. Now there's a restaurant there called Tocado. I don't know if the Pagulas still have any kind of ownership interest in that restaurant or in the overall hotel, but I know that they did at some point. So there is always a food and beverage link to pretty much everybody involved in sports or the show or something like that. But I'm sorry that she lost.
Oh no,
It's a
I mean,
shame.
she had a nice tournament. She ended up in the quarterfinals, and would have been in the made
And
it to
what
the
about
semis.
Coco? Is Coco still in?
Coco
Is
got knocked
Coco
out surprisingly by this girl who, and this is weird because you rarely see. I mean, there are a couple of women that have a little bit of girth to them on a women's tennis tour. Not many, though. I mean, this is a sport where you're going to be in tremendous shape. All you would have to do is play 1 point at the professional level if you could hang in there for 20 shots. And believe me, you would be breathing as hard as you ever had in your lifetime. So these guys are in tremendous shape. But there's a girl named Helena Ostapenko who went from being a skinny little nothing to like a rather rotund kind of round figure. It's surprising she can even find tennis outfits to put on. And
That's very
Ostapenko
nice.
took
They
her out,
have
took out
outfits
Coco
of
Gauff.
all sizes. Yes, all right. Well, that's good.
But
I'm sorry to
there's
see.
some debate as to what happened to Ostapenko, how she ended up. It's almost impossible to be in this kind of shape if you're out there playing professional tennis. Although we did see it with Serena, but she was like a large girl to begin with.
Well, I
So,
mean,
but
there's all.
and I don't know, could it be diabetes? Could that have forced a
Could be a
girl to
thyroid,
gain weight, or something?
a thyroid condition, but I don't want to
Something, yeah.
speculate on anybody's medical condition. What I do want to do
You
is get
always
back.
speculate on people's medical condition. That's all you do.
No,
What are you
only my
talking
own.
about?
Oh
All
wait,
right.
no, that's true. When it comes to you or people in my orbit,
And you
but,
usually
like
pronounce
yours.
people dead on arrival. I mean, you would not be a guy that you would want to have, greeting an ambulance at the hospital, because you would probably just say, "And just put that body on the side there. There's no hope with that."
So getting back to that cake, but boss, I was taking my kid out to the beach today. No, I need you in here now. Mayo needs that cake. No, what I was wondering is they probably in their kitchen and bakery have a couple of these special occasion cakes just sitting there. And then they
No,
put
get
a
out of here,
piece
man. You know
chocolate.
what happened there. Your daughter's
No?
right on the
Daughter
money.
nails it. 100% that's what happened.
You sent people scattering. They were going to have a nice, quiet Sunday. They probably had, a fair amount of reservations.
But why should they care? I don't write for a major publication.
Because people still fear you. I mean, it's very much that. It's a Bronx Tale all over again. It's better to be feared.
Fear or respect, or he actually did.
I'm not sure it's respect anymore after your performances on this show. Yeah, because they've seen you eat. So they can't possibly be worried that the fancy foo-foo food that they made is going to be consumed by a guy with any sense of distinction or taste. When they see you, here you are encouraging Lubie to be a complete slob on the show, which he used to need little encouragement.
Sarny. It's all Sarny's fault. I'm going to blame it on the Svengali. But anyway, again, thanks to everybody at Evil.
How is it that you don't like peanut butter, though? I mean, it's un-American.
That's interesting. You don't like it at all?
Yeah.
You just like
I like it in my Reese's peanut butter cups, but if I have a jar of peanut butter in my cupboard, which I do not, I did at one point. I eventually tossed them all because I just don't eat it. I don't like it. Could sit there for years. I would say, "Oh, I want a peanut butter sandwich." Maybe never. Like I'd never go and make a peanut butter sandwich. So
I'm telling you, you got to get yourself some cinnamon raisin English muffins, toast one, and while it's just coming out of the toaster oven there, smear some peanut butter on there. You're gonna love it.
I'd rather smear it with cream cheese, and if I'm gonna have cream cheese, sometimes I'll put a little grape jelly on cream cheese. I like cream cheese.
Cream cheese and jelly sandwich was a common staple of the Defo childhood lunchbox in Brooklyn, for sure.
Much more prevalent in my neighborhood and my lunchroom, cream cheese and jelly than peanut butter and jelly. And
it's probably true, but you grew up in a Jewish neighborhood.
And as it turned out, we were ahead of the curve because now so many kids have these nut allergies and sensitivities that they die if they breathe in a fume of a nut from a half mile away. A lot of elementary lunchrooms have banned peanut butter and peanut butter sandwiches. That is correct.
Yeah, no,
didn't realize that.
One more indication of the softening of America. But no, I mean it's true. It's like some kids have that much of a sensitivity to the nuts, and
nothing like anxiety alleviation with a jar full of peanut butter and a knife. That's all you need.
and a full bar of chocolate, and that's that.
No, nothing else. Just straight up.
Who put peanut butter on my chocolate? Who put chocolate in my peanut butter? Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah.
You've lost your mind. You really have, man. That dinner with the ex, I mean, it finished you, Mayo.
That one.
Not only was it revealed what a cheapskate you are and a conniver and a con man, but even your own family is now on top of you on this, and that's why the wife is in St. Lucia.
I've got the receipts. I got the receipts to prove it. I paid $6 for the meal. Yes, they gave us some nice touches, but I still was willing to pay my fair share, and much more than many ex-husbands are willing to.
Yeah, I'm not going as far as info. Like I don't think you were trying to get a free meal, but
no, I believe he was. Come on, Lubie, you know this.
Look, I'm one of those people like.
I
come in, I'm going to spend money, but if you want to give me a couple of nice touches to make it a truly special occasion, at this point, I can't say no. Back in my newspaper days, I'd have to say no because back then we had a strict code of ethics. So
yeah, but they were paying the whole tab.
The newspaper was.
Yeah, you didn't care what.
Not my wine. I always had to pay.
You weren't inclined to ask for a freebie because A, you didn't want to be, known to be coming in there, and then B, you couldn't accept it, and you didn't have to pay for it anyway. So, but I believe that move. I mean, that's one of those moves. I don't think you were saying hi to the chef. I believe your sole subliminal intention, whether you realized it or not.
Let me see his.
Get some kind of beneficial treatment at that restaurant.
I'm going to read you his response. He goes, "Hello, and yes, I saw." Meaning, he saw that my name was on the books already.
So you were already good for
the
this.
reservation.
That's the funny thing. Yeah.
He goes, "We are very excited to welcome you and celebrate. I'm here all morning. And what he probably said is trying to get people to come in to bake cakes. But he goes, I'll be gone by the time you come later, but we'll make sure you have an amazing experience with us. And
isn't there some Trumpian illegality to using a position of power like this? To get tax-free considerations.
He's not harassing anyone.
The pictures up in virtually every restaurant. You were hovering over me on that nice night out that we had at the Italian restaurant in Pompano Beach. There,
I can't even remember that. Which one was that? The nice restaurant,
La Perla, de Pompano.
Oh, La Perla. I was.
I looked up from the table. It was like sort of in the middle of the restaurant.
I was actually there. You confused
me.
My words.
A young Mike Mayo. Yes,
my words when I was the critic for the paper, and I always liked.
You gave it a good, favorable review, yeah.
And Lino, and they are the operators and owners of the La Perla de Pompano. And so whatever. I don't know. I give up. I just I'm a friendly
the key
guy.
in life is to know yourself and understand yourself. That's one of the key things. So
I'm all for what you did. I'm not. I think.
Yeah, no problem with it. Just admit it. Admit it. That's all. 888. Admit it. Just like if you were calling a gambling hotline.
Give us their card to let them know. Okay, so you're doing nothing wrong. I just think it's fun.
If it was my birthday and I was doing that would be pretty shameless. But I'm doing this for the benefit and
it's even worse. I mean, you're doing it to bail out from all of the atrocities you committed to your ex-wife.
There were no atrocities. For the record, she filed on me. So
because you were perfectly happy being a jerk.
You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me tonight. Let's take our first break.
Just, people can see through this. Which is okay. Listen, Lubie and I have both benefited from that. Maybe not to the same extent, Lubie, but many, many times I've had restaurants pick up my check, whatever. Coming in there, and so I understand the whole thing, and it's always an extremely nice and generous gesture, But I don't go into places necessarily looking for a freebie, but in this case, I believe that whether you recognize it or not, that the only reason you texted this guy was to get a freebie of some sort, not meaning the whole meal, maybe comps your birthday, the
I
ex-wife.
Just wanted Michelle to be treated right for her birthday, and whatever that was.
Where were you going to go that she was going to get mistreated? I mean, come on.
I was willing to pay for everything and anything, but whatever. What's the word?
Special considerations. Yeah.
No, generosity or whatever. Hospitality is extended.
The guy's coming out with truffles that he just flew in from Italy. Get out of here. They put extra wait staff on. You probably had 4 people around your table.
Everywhere we go, look, when I walk in, and before they know how Mayo looks, they're just waiting. And they're like, "Are you Mike?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
yes."
You are Mike. That's the funny thing.
Okay, he's here.
I'm wrong, Mike.
We should take a vote on Let's Eat South Florida. Did Mike Mayo text the chef from Evelyn's only because he was looking for special considerations? I guarantee you that survey comes up positive.
I'm going to say that cake was sitting in the fridge, and it's there for any time that somebody's having a big birthday.
I'm going to say they went out specially and hired some French pastry chef.
Yeah, it was
a great expense to the restaurant.
It was a pretty
lost
sick
money
cake.
on your ticket. Yeah.
And it's actually going to be my daughter's dinner tonight. She had leftover pita bread and the spreads for dinner last night, and tonight she'll let her eat cake.
I'm eating leftover Umbertos, so I'm just finishing that off. Yeah, Umbertos.
Hey, so tomorrow we're going to be with our friend Nikki Mohan. I'm excited. We're going to be going out to our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack, and
I think has the lady Mohan been there before? Because
I don't think she has. She's been up to Lauderdale by the Sea many times. I think she's one of those people that loves and appreciates Aruba Beach Cafe, which is down the block, which is also
and that whole area has been cranking lately. Just cranking.
It's always cranking, and I like Aruba Beach Cafe. Chef Chris Nealon. We're going to do a show with him at some point down the road. I think he is the longest.
How come nobody else has Bahama bread like this?
That bread is great, and no one does.
That's a big feature, and I've never seen it anywhere else. The Bahama bread.
It should. Yeah, Aruba's. It used to be.
They bring out the loaf there. Yeah.
Used to be a staple at the old Ernie's barbecue, the Bimini bread and the Bahamas bread, and now Aruba is one of the last places that have it. And then Chef Chris has been there since like 1986. I think he's got to be the longest serving executive chef of any restaurant
Wow.
anywhere in Broward County. He's been there a long time. He's a really sweet guy, and he just lost his dad. Condolences to him. But we are going to get in there for a show. But even
They
keel,
expanded their outside seating too, so there's more room
yeah,
outside. They have a whole like
That's
new
the whole
area
thing.
they developed there,
yeah,
so
and
it's still pretty cool.
yeah, no, and Neki, I don't know if she's been into Even Keel. All I know is that Even Keel, coming off their big victory at the Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Festival with their now award-winning, People's Choice winning soup, the coconut pumpkin curry soup with spiny lobster. I don't know if they put it on the menu. I don't know if Brad's gonna be making it for us tomorrow. I certainly hope so. Maybe I'll send
Why
him a
don't you send him a
text.
text this morning?
Not looking
Tell him
for
you want him
anything
to,
special.
bust his butt to
Hey,
get in
Brad.
there early so they can
Hey,
make that
Brad.
soup. That took
Just
them 2
hope,
days to make.
coming in
Yeah.
with Neki Mohan from Visit Lauderdale, and we're hoping that,
Visit-
now, don't make
She'd
me
really
up,
like to
but
try that award-winning
that's
soup that you made. Yeah.
If you so happen to have some still.
yeah. And if you don't have any lobsters, just commission a couple of lobster men to go
Your
trap
buddy
a
who was
couple.
the distributor. What happened to that
Yeah,
guy?
Peter
He was
Johns.
going
He's
to
all
be a
right.
big sponsor of the show. He disappeared when
Yeah.
he presented on the invoice.
Yeah.
No.
So here we go.
Yeah.
No, he the the response he got to the ads were funny because he had one woman call up one day asking for fish heads. Looking
Nice.
for a dozen fish heads, please. And I was like, kind of,
Yeah.
I guess he was looking to sell a little bit more premium product. Anyway, where was I? We're talking about Visit Lauderdale and everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun. We're going to have another Visit Lauderdale edition, but with our friends Brad and Dave tomorrow at Even Keel
Nice.
Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea, because they were a big part of the recently concluded, very successful Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. And again, they captured the people's hearts by making soup on a 50-degree day. I mean, what a concept. But they also have some other great seafood dishes there that we're going to be sampling tomorrow. I'm sure Brad always has something new on the agenda. But the Visit Lauderdale folks, they want everybody to know this is the kind of place that we're
Yes.
all about here. That comfort, casual, sophisticated, higher level food, but you don't have to get all gussied up and put on a jacket and tie. Down on that Lauderdale by the Sea area, down on that whole strip along Fort Lauderdale Beach, like S3, where we were earlier this month. And Greater Fort Lauderdale welcomes everyone under the sun. It means the people that are into the casual vibes, along with the business crowd, and convention crowd, and also the foodie crowd. So everybody, culinary explorers, cocktail connoisseurs, craft beer aficionados, come on, and get ready to savor every flavor and every moment. From dockside dining with breathtaking views, lively chefs along Las Olas Boulevard and elsewhere, like Brad and Dave. I mean, they got some good culinary chops. And of course, award winning, chefs like Chef Timon Balou and Paula De Silva, all over the place. These restaurants are just booming. Brandon Solomon making cakes for me on a Sunday. Come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Discover taste sensations at more than 4,000 area restaurants. And don't forget the thrilling nightlife scene filled with all kinds of good stuff, like the breweries along the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail, the hidden speakeasies, rooftop bars, and expert mixologists doing what they do. It's a never-ending culinary and libation celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everybody's invited. So for all the latest deals, events, and happenings, go to visitlauderdale.com.
Neki Mohan tomorrow. Okay, that's going to be a lot of fun. Even Keel Fish Shack. Salivating, thinking about what they do with scallops there. They really do a great job with scallops at Even Keel. It's fantastic. Everything is good there. All right, more with Mike Mayo. I'm glad you dusted off some of the confusion that you exhibited on the show yesterday. You seem a little bit more coherent today, which is good, and in a more festive mood. You were kind of... Lubie theorized, we discussed this morning after we finished our morning show, and he theorized it's these Zoom calls with Dickstein right before the show that
throws me off,
have an impact on the way you perform on this particular program.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get thrown very easily.
You get very mishuggah sometimes, and we're going to blame it all on Dickstein.
Now, we had a good meal with Dixteen last night. It was a team meeting. We have some new people coming on board for the Best of Local, Best of Delray app. And we checked out this new kind of casual Italian place in Delray Beach, and we could talk about it. It's called Zimi.
Are we going to go to the Delray tennis tournament? That would be a good
We're
thing.
going to do all kinds of things. We're going to do more things up in the Delray area in the coming year because
your meatball club there or whatever, Meat Lovers Club, that was a great event.
Oh, well, he's doing the boxing. You should come up Thursday night with me. Are you available Thursday night? They're doing their boxing and rib competition. It's at the Delray Boxing Club, and tickets are available at if you go on to Eventbrite and look up Red Meat Lovers Club or go to redmeatloversclub.com. But it's a combination of a barbecue competition. Then this year's theme is ribs and boxing matches, and they do it to benefit a local charity that helps.
Pro boxing or amateur?
It's amateur. This is like amateur boxing club.
Okay.
They have some bouts and like 3-round bouts with a referee and everything. And it's kind of a cool vibe because there's sweat flying, and there's also a full bar in this place. It's like a club that has boxing training for amateurs, but then at nighttime they open up and it's like a nightclub bar area.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be eating a lot of ribs, including some of the people that were at the barbecue competition at the Visit Lauderdale Fest. That Mr. Lee's is going to be there. He's the defending champion at this event, and along with a couple other places from up in the Palm Beach area. That guy from Prezzo, the Italian restaurant. Anyway, it's going to be a fun night. And Defo, if you want to come along, come as my guest.
I think I might do it. Yeah, you know me. I love my
boxing. Dixteen's going to be there. And after the break,
that would be reason enough alone to show up.
Oh, yeah.
Dixteen's always a hoot.
Yeah. So I'll talk about our my dinner at Zimi restaurant in Delray.
Zimi. Okay.
Zimi, Z-I-M-I. I think there was
Zimi.
Zimi, which actually means dough in Greek. I don't know why they have an Italian restaurant with a Greek word in the name, but it's not my place to figure these things out. I'll just text them when I'm coming.
It's kind of like Walter owning Anthony's Clam House. I mean, for some reason, a place that you had a little bit of an attitude about that turns out to be great. And he's still waiting for us to get in there and do a show.
Oh, so. We should. And I respect
their lunch special, I have to say, is as good as any lunch special you could find in any restaurant in town. I believe
that's the kind of place. It's just really well run. They have incredible efficiency. The value on the menu is terrific.
Excellent.
And no, it's not like the most gourmet food.
It's not like you're going to Chef Angelo and he's personally cooking for you because you sent him a text. I mean, this is. But for price point and overall satisfaction, tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be shaving the white truffles over my pasta there, but they will put enough pepperoni slices on the pepperoni pizza. So.
No, they do a good job there. They really do. But the lunch special, I mean, it's like $10 for a thing that would be like 20 something at night, and it's a similar portion, and really a dynamite deal. Really,
very honest, solid place. That's it. That's it. All right, let's do a break. Let's do a double, and we'll come back and we'll talk more food after these words on the Lunchbox. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Café in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach, Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox on a Hammer Mike Mayo Tuesday. Actually, Grandpa's Tuesday too.
It's open season every day, Mike Mayo.
No, I just got
you make it easy. You just do. I mean,
I got a text from our friend Tom Tanazzini up there in Boynton. He said, "Man, they are giving you the business today," and I was like,
"Well, because we just exposed you as being a Bankman-Fried type of fraud when it came to
not a fraud
using your position of power." We do have a question here, and it's not an easy one to answer, and that's from a gentleman named Eric Newberg, and wants to know how he would compare La Perla de Pompano to Gianni's, which I have to say, I mean, Gianni's is fine. I'm not the biggest fan of Gianni's. I don't think it's the greatest place.
I've had it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. A lot of people really like Gianni's. Some people say it's the greatest. I don't necessarily agree. I don't. There's nothing wrong with it, though. If you want to go there and you like it, I think it's fine. But I think La Perla de Pompano is a little more innovative in their presentation of their entrees. They make their own pasta there, and it's sort of a different vibe.
Exactly.
But I would definitely go to La Perla over Gianni's if I was given a choice. That would
people
be
are, and I'm in the same boat as you, Defo.
And I've only been to La Perla once, and I've been to Gianni's many times, many times.
And Gianni's is as comfortable as an old sweater. It's
all
been
right.
There 30 years. The longtime owner proprietor just recently passed away, but it's still being run, I guess, by family members. And it's one of those things. It's like a basic red sauce place, but you're right. La Perla, Manuela, Italian.
Different type of
hospitality school background. She makes her own the pastas, the pappardelles, and you could taste all that a little bit finer.
It seems like everything is individually prepared, to the chef's particular style. I mean, it just has a little more panache to it in terms of style and presentation.
But hey, you know what? If the masses like someplace, who am I to disagree?
People love Gianni's, man. I mean, and a lot of people like it, for a lunch special. But, we were talking about Anthony's Clam House. They swear by the lunches at Gianni's, especially.
And speaking of Italian restaurants, just what the world needs is another Italian restaurant. But again, it is America's most popular restaurant. Well, I mean, there are more Chinese restaurants and takeout places across the U.S. than any other type of cuisine.
See, I
Yeah,
didn't think that.
but if you exclude the takeout joints, I think Italian food is the number one in terms of popularity for sit-down restaurants in
It's
the United States. And it's this place called Zimi's up in Delray that I went last night for. We had a team dinner meeting with the Best of Delray group. This place just opened 4 weeks ago, and I heard about it because when I was judging at the Boca Bowl tailgate chefs competition about 6 weeks ago, and Tom T was there. Actually, 2 months ago, but
Well, was Tommy T entered? Because he would win any tailgate party.
he got my vote. He
Yeah.
made his couple things. He made a jambalaya.
Oh
He
my
made
God.
the the filet gumbo. Yeah, the gumbo he made. I loved it. But no, at the competition, this place Zimi had a tent there, even though it hadn't opened. And it's actually owned and operated by the same group that operates Copperfish, which is a seafood fish restaurant in Boca Raton that opened a couple of years ago. Copperfish is kind of high end. It's in that plaza that's in between 95 and the town center mall. There's like a Marriott somewhere in between there. But I've never been to Copperfish, but the chef there told me they were opening the Zimi place, and it was going to be kind of a not high end Italian, but kind of more moderately priced, and with the basic pizzas and pastas. We went in there last night. It was again a very kind of weird strip mall, like a industrial setting. The dining room itself was a little bit cold and had all these exposed ducts and things, and just kind of like it wasn't very inviting when you first walked in. But the food was very good. I would call
All
it,
right.
like the pizzas. Like they did a pizza. We had one that was with the prosciutto on top with some arugula. And the type of mozzarella they used was very high quality. We asked for that one well done, and it came out beautiful, crisp. We had a basic cheese pie, and again, good quality cheese. And no, I was happy with most everything there, and good
What else did you
cannolis.
have?
Oh, we started with what didn't we have? An eggplant rollatini
really
appetizer.
nice.
We had a caprese, mozzarella tomato
Nice.
salad.
Yeah.
We had a calamari. The fried calamari was
Oh,
very
the
good.
calamari.
And it
Nice.
had the tentacles as well as the
Nice.
rings, and it had a really good batter and coating. And all their sauces were proper. It seemed like they're using good quality tomatoes.
Did you
So
ever have at any place a sort of spicy calamari? Not like typical red sauce spice, but sort of an Asian spice to it. There was a
they have
place,
those sweet chili. They have
yeah, yeah. There was a
sweet.
guy. I don't know if you remember Pete's Cafe Belisara.
Yeah,
Pete, I think, had a little bit of a gambling habit, and that might have cost him whatever position he had at the
everything that he
restaurant. But
had. Okay,
he was a former chef at Materano that opened his own place, and it was out in Parkland, and it was extremely popular, and the
yeah, I
food
remember
was
Cafe
great.
Bell. Yeah,
But he made a calamari with that sort of Asian spice to it,
like a zing, a
and
little
it was
sweet.
fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
really did a great job with that.
Last night's calamari was very solid.
And it wasn't
They
cheap.
also brought out like a roasted pepper thing with the bread. Now, this is a thing that I'm sure is going to get some blowback, and I know people on Let's Eat go crazy, especially at an Italian
You pay for
restaurant.
bread.
They
Like you
they
pay for
charge for the bread. It was a $6 bread basket. It was a very
Ay,
nice
ay,
bread
ay.
basket that had ciabatta and some other
Sayonara.
thicker sourdough, and it had besides butter, it had these roasted peppers and some other things. But I know some people up there are going to say, "What do you mean I got to pay for bread? Bread should always be free." But look, was it worth $6? I don't know. Dick Steen was paying. It was a nice bread basket.
And it was worth it. It was worth every penny of Dick Steen's money.
And next time I'll text the owner.
While we're on the theme of trying to comp a freebie, which this show should be labeled, Mike Mayo tries to comp a freebie.
But anyway, it was solid. And even though there's plenty of Italian restaurants up and down Atlantic and every other avenue in Delray in South Florida, I wish them luck, and it's new place. And
what was that
food-
joint? Was
food
it
was
West
good.
Side
was
Pizza or
good.
whatever that we had the meatball from at that one contest? Actually, it was
Windy City
a meat
Pizza.
lovers that thing. Yeah,
Yeah, Windy City Pizza. That was
That
at
was great,
last
man.
year's
Yeah, that
tennis
was
and
really good.
meatball event, and
Good.
we had a couple of good meatballs. One was from our friends at Runyon's. One was
They
from
did a
our
good job
friends
too. Yeah,
at Prezzo, which has 2 locations now, one in Boca, one in Palm Beach Gardens, and then one was from our friends at Windy City Pizzeria, which is right on that main drag of Atlantic Avenue. And
let me
they
throw
do-
one at you. You're on Atlantic Avenue. You can go anywhere you want. Where's Mike Mayo going? You're up there a lot now, and that's a great dining area. There are a zillion choices, a lot of good places. What would be your number one if you had to,
If
say,
you're
hey,
saying
okay,
on the avenue proper itself,
the whole area, I guess we could count it. Yeah.
because to me, there's a new sushi place that's one of these omakase experiences where they
All right.
just slaughter you with like 19 dishes, and it's $150 per person plus drinks, tax, and tip. Oh, it's getting a
A
little
deuce.
algae
Yeah.
thinking
You
about
haven't
it.
even
But
eaten.
it was very high quality. It was a good meal. I thought it
Thank
was
God
like
you're not eating on today's show.
How are you getting indigestion without eating?
just thinking
Amazing.
about that meal. The omakase meal, it's called Taki, Taki. It opened up just
Taki.
about,
Okay. That
I
would be
think
your
it just
spot
opened up about 6 weeks ago.
of
No,
all the places.
of all the places in Delray, my number one spot is the Grove. It's
The
up off
Grove.
the main drive. The
Okay.
Grove.
And
It's
what
owned
kind
and
of
operated
food
by one
is
of the.
featured there?
Hmm?
What's featured there?
It's you would call it just good food.
All
They
right.
call it
That's it. Nice
modern.
review there, Mr. Critic. They got good food at this place. There it
No,
is.
no,
4
I'm
stars.
sorry. Let me amend that. They have excellent, exquisite food. It is high-end stuff. It's expensive, but every bite also is just well composed and has all these different flavor profiles. Because the chef there and the owner, his name is Michael Haycock. He's a graduate of the Culinary Institute of America. This place has been around now for it's going on 11 years that they opened the Grove. They've
All right.
expanded, and it's just every different dish they have there is fantastic. They have a couple of meat dishes, they have a couple of pasta dishes, they have a fish dish. They have this the portobello mushroom soup that
Ooh,
is, until you
there you go.
taste it, it's just a wonderful thing. And one night a guy came in and was just like rhapsodizing over it. He almost like was like genuflecting to the chef and said, "This is the best soup I ever had." And that gentleman used to be the CEO of Campbell's Soup Corporation.
Oh
So
wow!
that's
Wow.
the kind of place
Well, he's
that
used to eating crummy soup.
I was gonna say this.
Yeah.
The soups are great at Campbell's, but
What was he
right,
touring a
that's true.
factory before he went there for the cream of mushroom?
They also did this a new on the menu at the Grove is a thing called they have a steak tartare dish with the Wagyu beef. They use it and mix it up with a soy cured egg yolk and an egg, and this is getting into the food, but it
Yeah,
is
no,
just.
you're really going high end there. Yeah.
And steak tartare is raw beef, but it's the highest quality of beef. And again, mixed with this soy cured egg and a little bit of the kind of I think they served it with like kind of a cracker, like a one of those just kind of crunchy crackers that you could put the thing on. And anyway, I love the Grove. It's not for everybody. They also charge for bread. And they also there can be a little persnickety. They curate their customer base. Like they don't want you in there if you're going to be complaining about
Some
the
farmer.
size
Yeah.
of the portions and things
Yeah.
like that. And they do very well. But it is composed, beautiful eating. It's my favorite in Delray Beach, but there's so many great restaurants up there now. It's a great place. So we're going to spend some time up there. We're going to do some we'll do some remote shows if everybody can travel up there, because people are willing to feed us.
Let's
up
not
there.
go too far there.
that's a dream. But I mean, we'll do what we have to do.
Lunch shows. Yeah, anything down in the Dania area is off limits for me right now too, because of the bridge or the tunnel being closed.
Oh, the tunnel out.
Yeah,
well, all right.
closed.
Well,
Shut down. There's a
we're gonna
wall there
be-
now.
Next week we're going to be at Shenanigans on Monday, but I'll try to get Dave Hyde to come in and do the show instead of you.
There you
He's
go.
coming
All
up
right.
from the north, but we'll figure that out later. Meanwhile, we got to talk about our friends. You can go to Tropical Acres. It's in Dania. You don't have to go through any tunnels. You go right down 95 and across Griffin
It's
Road.
right there.
2500 Griffin Road. It is easy access, easy parking, big parking lot. Tropical Acres, our friends, the Studiali family, they'll take great care of you, whether it's a special occasion or any occasion. And they have the rolling dessert cart there. It's a beautiful thing if somebody's celebrating a birthday, and you don't have to text anybody or know anybody. They'll treat you right every night, and it's one of those places where is tonight Tuesday still? I've lost track of my days.
Tuesday it is. Yes.
That's off.
Tuesday, half price wine night. You can't beat that deal. They got some stellar bottles in there, and again, it's reasonably priced any night, but on half price wine night, it's ridiculous. Some of these great bottles that are going for $40 usually you get for $20. I mean, it's crazy. Less than what you get for a glass of decent wine on Los Olas Boulevard some places these days. That's Tropical Acres. Besides, they have the great, the steaks, the filet mignons, the prime rib, seafood, whatever you want, they'll have it. Great value, great service, great selection. Tropical Acres. And don't forget, that Valentine's Day is fast approaching. So you better get your name in the books. Get a reservation. Call today, 954-989-2500, 954-989-2500 to get your Valentine's Day reservation or a reservation for this weekend at Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Is it a little presumptuous to assume you're going to be with the ex on Valentine's Day?
Yes. We don't do Valentine's
You
Day.
can't do that. No,
I play poker on Valentine's Day because that's my true mistress, the Queen of Hearts.
And probably had done that before, which led to the squeaky from the big X there. But yeah. I mean, when you're out playing poker and you forget it's Valentine's Day, that's when you know you're a true degenerate, which is good. That's why we're proud of you, Mike.
I always remembered our anniversary, though. You know why, Defo?
Why?
It's December 7th, Day of Infamy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. We're coming back with more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Some interesting dining experiences by the Mayo Man. I'm glad you're getting out there a little bit and diversifying and, not just staying home thinking that you're sick. So this is good. All right. We'll return in a moment.
I'm all about the food. That's crazy.
You look good today, kid. You really do.
I feel great.
Yeah.
$1 million. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Café Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Café Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Shoot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm here on the Lunchbox. I just found some classified documents in my pile of old papers here. Did you see Mike Pence, the latest to get ensnared in classified?
Oh, yeah. Pence had a few sheets of paper he wasn't supposed to.
The headlines just flashed across my phone that aides to Mike Pence have found some classified documents among his belongings.
It's funny how you could see something that's labeled top secret and just figure, hey, why don't I grab this file? and take it home and bury it somewhere. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's it. Hey,
wow, the Santos thing though still remains the most mystifying thing that there aren't more top level Republicans.
I've never seen a guy get
this guy. Yeah,
no, but the guy gets elected to Congress after opening not one but 3 Michelin star restaurants. I mean, it's very impressive.
Well, he was at my bar mitzvah. I don't remember him being there. But,
no, he was the singer, and he also was the cantor. He's the singer in the band at the reception.
By the way, too, I mean,
he's also the cantor who chanted the Haftorah with you.
People thought that maybe he was also a moil, but at 13, that's not recommended to have that particular service performed then. I mean, if you don't have it done like right away, forget about it.
No, and the thing was, he would never work for just tips. So that's it.
There you go. You got it in.
I had to get it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's real quickly talk about our favorite.
Do you want to answer this gentleman's question who asked about Gianni's also?
We already
did. The thing about Chinese restaurants.
Remember we did it. We talked about Chinese yesterday. Or
yeah. You went all over the place.
I'm not talking Chinese. We're done with that. Mainland China.
Where can you get authentic New York style, Mike? Where can you get that?
God. Oh my God. My favorite new like Chinese place near. Well, first of all, I like Mainland China Bistro. That's in
Southwest.
Coral
I mean,
Springs on University near Lubie. I
yeah.
like the chili crab in Boca
Yeah.
Raton. It's different. It's actually like in a kind of it more have like a bistro type atmosphere. It's not like your usual Chinese food, Chinese restaurant atmosphere. And then Hong's Barbecue near me on Sterling Road is my new favorite place. All right,
All right.
forget Chinese food. The important thing is ice cream flavors out of a
Yes.
freezer at a
Brought
supermarket. We
that up
got
this
1 minute. I know I heard you talk about it on your morning show, but if you give me
Yeah.
your top 3 flavors and or brands, or
Oh.
flavors with brands.
I mean, for a long time, I was old school, although I think this is kind of out of the picture now. I used to love Breyers. I
Yeah,
loved all of their flavors. I loved their Breyers vanilla, as simple as
classic.
it could get. I
Yeah,
liked, all of their other flavor, coffee, peach. I mean, it was all good.
they use good
Um,
ingredients,
yeah,
minimalism,
I don't
good
know that I
quality
would go
ingredients.
that direction now, but if I was going to go, we were thinking about Ben and Jerry's because it's Jerry Greenfield was the guy that
Oh,
went to my high school. His buddy Ben also was a guy from Merrick, New York, and I don't remember him being in my high school, but I do remember Jerry. And but he was nothing then. He was just a regular guy. And then all of a sudden they skate off there to Vermont, open up a little ice cream shop, and the rest is history. I mean, it becomes a monster. I'm going to say almost any Ben and Jerry's flavor is pretty good. Chunky Monkey, what was a particularly addicting one,
solid.
as was the Cherry Garcia, and any of their chocolate flavors were just absolutely amazing. But I don't think you could go wrong with any Ben and Jerry's, which took over kind of for Haagen-Dazs as the premier, upscale ice cream.
Haagen-Dazs
When
back in the
Haagen-Dazs was
day.
red hot there for a while.
All right, Luby, what are your top 3 if you could buy in an ice cream in a
I
supermarket?
liked Ben and Jerry's fish food, and that's just an amalgamation of a lot of things.
Me and you agree on that, and that was
Yes.
Neil Rogers' favorite, and he could just sit there and eat a whole pint. It's got the little,
Which he
like,
often did, yeah.
chocolate-covered marshmallow bits, and then they had just a fudge
A pint
shell.
of Ben and Jerry's goes down pretty easily, though. I mean, it's not like any disgrace that you ate the whole thing. Yeah.
And unlike Haagen-Dazs, a pint of Ben& Jerry's is still 16 ounces a pint. Haagen-Dazs now is 14 ounces, if you've noticed.
Really?
They've
Not a
shrinkage.
rip-off, yeah.
Yeah, shrinkage.
Haagen-Dazs
but
is so crazy.
Go ahead, yeah.
I don't know if
Go
I like.
ahead.
I don't know.
What's your
I mean,
other
I
2?
like
Quickly.
I'm pretty
Huh?
standard. Yeah, I'm pretty standard. I just like chocolate, and I used to like Rocky Road a lot.
All right, here's my top 3. I'm with you on the fish food. When I want a chocolate fix, I will grab, hopefully if it's BOGO at Publix, the Ben& Jerry's fish food. Number 2, I love this Tillamook ice cream. It comes out of Oregon now. I don't know if you've seen it. They have a mint chip flavored ice cream that's I like when my mint chip is white and not dyed green. I don't
All
like
right.
green ice cream, but the Tillamook mint chip ice cream is excellent. And then for 3, I have a toss up. I do go retro with my Haagen-Dazs sometimes for the rum raisin. I love their rum raisin.
Rum raisin. I'm with you on that. I like
And
Love
tied for 3 is out of Ohio, Grater's, and you see it occasionally in some Publix, but Grater's ice cream shops are around the Columbus area in Ohio, and I used to go there when we would visit Michelle's family, and they have something called black raspberry chocolate chip. It's an excellent flavor, and that's one of my favorites also. So I give you 4 flavors that you could find at local supermarkets, and if you eat that, you could look like me.
Nothing
And look,
wrong with an occasional ice cream. I mean, nothing wrong.
we can't forget the good humor, man. I know you were talking about it. I looked
Oh,
it up.
I thought they made a bunch of innovative flavors with
chocolate
the stuff they had on a
The
stick.
chocolate eclair was great. The strawberry
eclair,
shortcake was
great.
great.
I love strawberry
And
shortcake. Those are my 2
and then
favorites.
The 4th of July. Remember the 4th of
Oh,
July? That was big.
and then there was it was called Candy Center Crunch ice cream bar. It was
Oh,
with the
that was it,
vanilla
yeah,
ice
it had that
cream
thing
and
stuck
that
in it.
chocolate fudge
Yeah.
bar in the middle, and then
Yeah.
that chocolate shell exterior, and they called it Candy Center Crunch.
The
And that
banana
was-
split, though, was always a great ice cream pop. It really was.
that was an ice cream truck. So I don't know if you had to take a choice of either a good humor ice cream bar straight from one of those oddly shaped trucks or a Ben and Jerry's pint. Which would you take?
I'd probably go Ben and Jerry's pint at this point. But the trick was in Brooklyn. I mean, get the guy to go to the side door because they always had 2 doors on the Good Humor truck, one on the side, one on the back. And then you would get the guy that was driving to go to the side door, and then somebody would go in the driver's seat and pump the gas a couple of hundred times and flood the engine. So when the guy went to take off, the car would stall, and you'd open the back and take out a box of the ice cream bar.
There you go.
And then like 20 kids would be eating toasted almond pops there.
Old school thievery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just text the driver and tell him I'm coming out and it's my wife's 50th birthday.
Probably give you the truck, just say
here, you a case.
You take it, man. Kids are too scattered all over the place now for an ice cream truck to work here. I don't know, maybe out west, but where I am, there's like one kid for every 300 square miles. So
along the beach, they come along the beach now, and
they got a weirdo.
I've got a friend,
looks like
Anthony
a pedophile
Fellows.
wagon. It really does. Yeah,
Anthony Fellows has a truck that has some frozen treats, and I'm forgetting the name of it now, but it's he works the beaches here in Hollywood and Dania during the summertime.
What are your thoughts on, before we go, since we're talking ice cream, and we've never done this, Carvel versus the places that do the concrete crap? Like
I have a very soft spot in my heart for Carvel because I grew up with it. Yeah, I have soft spots all around my body from ice cream.
No, but there's a new Carvel. It was good. Yeah,
there's a Carvel shop that opened near my daughter's school. It's on Hiatus and State Road 84, run by a very nice couple. They've done things, different. Carvels have different levels of quality. They do these soft serves in these different flavors, including coffee and pistachio. Their coffee soft serve is creamy, has great flavor. I love getting the coffee soft serve at that Carvel with a little bit of hot fudge and those chocolate crunchies. Oh,
nice. Man. Always a crunch. You would put croutons on ice cream if they didn't have any sprinkles. You're amazing with that crunch.
The chocolate crunch bits at
coffee Carvel. I never have seen that or experienced it. So
see, if you put those chocolate crunchies in my peanut butter, maybe.
Well, what happened to those frozen yogurt shops? What were they? TDY or something? Was like super expensive. Yeah. Like you would get a little thimble full of stuff, and they would weigh it.
Put it on the scale.
Really
they put the thumb on the scale. It's $16.
Yeah, it was like a Don King weigh-in. All of a sudden, the guy that was like 116 is 216.
Right, we've gone overtime. We got to go. But boy, we could talk about ice cream all day, and maybe one day we'll go to another ice cream shop and eat some ice cream on the lunchbox because we do that from time to time. So anyway, thanks,
very
guys.
Good, you were better today than yesterday. I really.
Oh, yesterday was
market improvement. Yeah, you were good.
I had all kinds of things going on in my head and in my world, and I just
you got to stay calm, man. It's show business. Just block it all out. Block it all out.
The beauty of this show, just one day at a time.
It ends at 1:00,
and then there's another one tomorrow, and the day.
There you go. All right, kiddo.
All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy every peanut butter sandwich.